Hey guys, welcome to Blogging X Pro. Congrats for making this decision to enroll in this training course. This is a systematic, step-by-step, ultimate course for succeeding in blogging. So this is the training course that I often wish I had earlier. So I started blogging when I was 17 years old. At that time, it was just a hobby for me, right? I used to wonder who the heck creates content around the web, right? I came across a Google Blogger platform when I was, discovering blogging. So I started a couple of blogs in Google Blogger platform on different things that I was interested in. I started a couple of blogs in Google Blogger platform, and I started to document all the sporadic thoughts in my head on those blogs. And later on, I grew serious about blogging, and I started my self-hosted WordPress sites. At that time, I was using HostGator as my hosting provider. And initial blogs on WordPress were also a failure. And I started to document all my learnings, and I started a new blog called Go Blogging Tips. That Go Blogging Tips is now rebranded to Blogging X. When I was working on Go Blogging Tips, I was admitted to an engineering university for my graduation. So my engineering syllabus was ruining my blog in front of my eyes. Like, I was running out of traffic, and it was robbing my time to publish new articles on my blog. And later on, I, together with my close family, took a calculated risk of me dropping out of engineering. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So since then, have grew a lot, and as of now I have only 2 blogs because we are focusing all our energy and focus on only those 2 blogs. We are treating them as our authority blogs, right? So yes, apart from that, I have training business as well, right? If you are in this training course, you know I also do trainings. Many people ask me how much time does it take for me to get results after applying your system. So my answer is that let me set you the right expectations. As you can see in the graph, for the first 5 months of starting my affiliate blog, it hardly received any traffic, and after 5 months it got good traffic, and I started to earn around $500, $700, and eventually $1,000 per month within the 6 months period. So this is the ideal time your new blog would take to get traffic, as you can see in the graph, right? So when your blog is new, Google will have a hard time trusting content on your blog, right? It of course drives some traffic, like little traffic, to your blog to know what the visitors will feel like about the quality of your content, how long they stay on your site, and all those engagement metrics. And later on, it starts driving more and more traffic, right? To begin with, you should not worry about traffic, right? You need to worry about creating quality content, right? Like any other business, blogging also is a business, and it takes a lot of time, but it's quite less effort and less upfront capital is required. But compared to any other offline business, blogging is an online business, and it requires comparatively less infrastructure. But yeah, it takes a lot of smart work, and you are following a proven system. And eventually, after 5 to 6 months, you will start to get some good traffic, and later on you will start earning money, and you will reinvest that money back into creating more quality content and also search engine optimization that I will discuss in this training course going forward. But yeah, most of the people quit when their blog is hardly around 3 months or 4 months old, right? Because many people treat blogging as a get rich quick scheme online, and they are looking for instant gratification. But as I told you, blogging is a business, and it takes some time. And if you are one of those few individuals who realize the fact that blogging is a business, and like any other business, it takes some time to get trust in the eyes of Google and other search engines to grow your blog, if you have patience and persistence, you will get that competitive edge, because most of the people are micro level thinkers, right? So they are not thinking in long term, right? They are short sighted. So those 2 things, patience and persistence, are the main things. To make sure that you are successful, you need to completely go through this training course, because the fact is that only 13% of the students who enroll for an online course actually complete it, right? And among those 13% students, only 20% of the students actually implement whatever that is being taught, right? You need to be one of those few 20% of the individuals who actually implement the stuff after going completely through the training course. Because there's one difference between knowledge and success, right? Everyone who has knowledge won't be successful, because the implementation is the key, right? When you combine implementation and right kind of knowledge that you are getting in this training course, success will be yours. You need to be an action taker, right? Either you need to learn everything on your own and it costs you years of time, or you need to blindly believe in a proven system that I'm going to present to you, and like it will shortcut your way to success. Again guys, you need to actively go through this training course, completing all the assignments that I may have for you in this training course, because there are two types of learnings. First one is active learning and the second one is passive learning. In active learning, you will learn the things and also implement them, right? In passive learning, you will be just a passive spectator, just listening to some boring lecture done by any random person without any experience, who is not a practitioner, right? You may know, like in schools and colleges, there are some boring lectures where you are not proactively engaged, right? Those subjects are the first that you forget, right? You won't forget all those experiments that you did in your laboratory, or the projects that you worked on. For example, in my diploma days, I did an Android app, and I still remember the exact framework and the patterns of coding that went through in my head when developing that app, right? You need to be active learners. When you actively learn a thing, right, so the learnings will go directly to your long-term memory, and that is really important to internalize what are all the things that you have learned. Whenever I ask you to type in something in the comment box of this training course, then do so, right? It will help me a lot to realize the fact that you are actually proactively engaging in the training course. Again, the things that I teach in this training course are proven again and again in our business. Whenever I start a new blog, I blindly trust the same strategies that I am going to present to you in this training course, and success will be mine. And if you follow the same system, success will be yours. I will be providing all the step-by-step guidance, guys. So I have a system with processes, templates, SOPs. I will be giving you access to all of those, right? So like literally I spent around like 1 month in getting this syllabus and curriculum together, and the content together before recording any single video, right? There are a lot of planning that went through when creating this training course to make sure that there is no missing piece in the puzzle you know what I'm saying, like that limits your success when it comes to blogging. We really need to make sure that there's no lack of information in this course that holds you back from achieving success. And after you go through this training course and start implementing it, make sure you come back to this training course and go through the videos and also the text summary that accompanies these training videos. Because once you implement the things, again, once you go through the training course, there will be new things, new perspectives that will pop in your head. So I highly recommend you to go through these training courses again and again once you implement some stuff. Stay tuned.